Forget everything you think you know about what women want. Seriously, the thing she fantasizes about most? It's not what you think, not even close. Let's cut straight to it. What if everything you thought you knew about women's hottest desire was completely backwards? Jordan Peterson didn't sugarcoat it. He went straight to the root of female fantasy, the raw truth that most men never hear and most women can't fully put into words. This is the insight that changes how you carry yourself, how you attract, and how you're perceived from this moment forward. What you're about to hear isn't theory. It's the psychological blueprint behind hidden female attraction. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Jordan Peterson describes women's hottest sexual fantasy. Let's be honest for a second. Most men have no idea what actually drives a woman's deepest attraction. They think it's about looks, money, or saying the right things at the right time. But what if the real answer is something far more primal, far more psychological, and completely overlooked by the average guy? What Jordan Peterson describes isn't just theory. It cuts straight to the core of female fantasy in a way that's both shocking and, once you hear it, completely obvious. Pay close attention. Peterson didn't sit down one day and decide to decode women's hottest desire out of nowhere. His insights come from years of studying Jungian psychology, evolutionary biology, and the deep archetypal patterns that shape human behavior beneath the surface. What he found wasn't politically comfortable. It wasn't designed to make anyone feel good. It was raw, honest, and grounded in something that goes way deeper than modern dating advice. And that's exactly why it hit so many people like a freight train when they first heard it. Here's where it gets interesting. Peterson points to one of the most consumed female fantasies in all of human storytelling history. And it isn't some romantic comedy cliche. It's the beauty and the beast dynamic, the dangerous, powerful, untamed man who chooses consciously to restrain himself. That tension between raw power and deliberate control is at the very core of hidden female attraction. It's not about being aggressive or soft. It's about being both simultaneously and doing it with complete awareness. That's the part most men miss entirely. Think about every story that has ever made women go absolutely wild. From classic literature to modern bestsellers like Twilight or 50 Shades of Grey. What's the common thread? It's never the nice, predictable, completely safe guy. It's always the man who carries something fierce underneath, something powerful, something that could be dangerous, but isn't because he's chosen to direct it. That's primal sexual desire speaking directly through fiction. Women aren't just entertained by these stories, they're psychologically activated by them in a deeply instinctual way. Now, before anyone misreads this, Peterson is incredibly precise about what this means. He's not glorifying violence or toxic behavior. That's the lazy interpretation. What he's describing is the dominant male archetype, the man who has genuinely confronted his own darkness, his aggression, his capacity for chaos, and has chosen to master it rather than suppress it. There's a massive difference between a man who is harmless because he's weak and a man who is gentle because he's strong. Women, at the subconscious level, know the difference immediately. This is where controlled aggression becomes one of the most magnetic qualities a man can develop. It's not about showing off or performing dominance. It's about carrying a grounded, quiet intensity that communicates, without a single word, that this man has something powerful living inside him and he's fully in command of it. That energy is felt, not seen. It walks into rooms before you do. It changes how people respond to you, not just women, but everyone around you. It's one of those things that's incredibly hard to fake and almost impossible to ignore when it's real. A man named Marcus learned this the hard way. He was the guy who always tried to be perfectly agreeable, softening every opinion, avoiding every conflict, bending himself into whatever shape he thought the woman in front of him wanted. And every single time, things faded fast. Women liked him at first, then lost interest without explanation. It wasn't until a mentor handed him Peterson's lectures that something cracked open. Marcus realized he had been hiding his mysterious masculine presence behind a mask of total harmlessness, and that mask wasn't protection, it was repulsion. Marcus started making small but deliberate changes. He stopped apologizing for his opinions. He held eye contact longer. He stopped shrinking in conversations to make others comfortable. And something shifted almost immediately. The same women who had politely drifted away started looking at him differently. Not because he became arrogant or aggressive, but because he finally started carrying that seductive power dynamics energy that says, I know who I am, and I'm not going to reshape myself to earn your approval. That quiet shift changed everything for him. Peterson explains that what women are responding to, at the deepest neurological level, are psychological attraction triggers that haven't changed in thousands of years. Evolution doesn't care about modern social norms. It cares about survival signals. A man who has mastered himself, who can hold tension without breaking, who doesn't flinch under pressure, broadcasts something ancient and powerful to the female nervous system. It's not manipulation, it's biology. And once a man understands this, he stops trying to perform attraction and starts embodying it naturally from the inside out. Here's a practical example. Imagine two men walking into the same room. The first one scans for approval the moment he enters, adjusting his posture, his smile, his energy based on how people react to him. The second one walks in with a settled stillness, not cold, not arrogant, just completely anchored. The masculine dominance hierarchy isn't always loud. Most of the time, it's completely silent. It communicates through presence, through the way a man occupies space, and through the unspoken certainty that he doesn't need the room's validation to feel solid in himself. This is what Peterson calls the dangerous charm effect, and it's one of the most misunderstood concepts in masculine psychology. The word dangerous here doesn't mean threatening or harmful. It means unpredictable in an exciting way. It means the woman across from you senses that you are a man of genuine depth, that there are layers to you she hasn't unlocked yet, that you carry experiences, convictions, and edges that make you genuinely interesting. Safe and predictable are the enemies of attraction. Depth and erotic tension polarity are what keep the flame alive. Let's talk about what high-value male status actually looks like in practice, because most men get this completely wrong. They think it's about expensive watches, flashy cars, or name-dropping achievements. Peterson disagrees entirely. Real high value is communicated through self-governance. It's the man who has a clear direction in life, who takes responsibility without playing the victim, who speaks directly without needing to impress anyone. That kind of man doesn't chase, he attracts. And the masculine frame control he carries isn't a technique. It's the natural output of a man who has actually done the inner work. There's a concept here that's worth sitting with for a moment. Emotional intensity attraction is the idea that women aren't just attracted to what a man does, but to how deeply he feels, and how fully he can hold emotional space without collapsing into it. The man who can be moved by something beautiful, angered by something unjust, and tender with someone vulnerable while never losing his center, is the man who creates the deepest psychological bonds. It's not emotional unavailability that's attractive. It's emotional range combined with unshakable groundedness. That combination is extraordinarily rare. And this is where subconscious female desire gets really specific. Women, consciously, might say they want someone kind, stable, and communicative. And they do. But underneath that, at the level they can't always articulate, they're searching for archetypal masculinity. The man who has faced his own shadow and come back stronger. The man who could be chaos, but chooses to be order. Peterson roots this deeply in mythology, in the dragon slayer archetype. The man who descends into darkness and returns, transformed. That story isn't just ancient fiction. It's a psychological blueprint that still activates something primal in the female brain today. This is where the power and restraint balance becomes the centerpiece of everything. Because what Peterson describes isn't about becoming harder or colder. It's about becoming more complete. A man who has integrated his strength and his sensitivity, his fire and his discipline, his capacity to protect, and his willingness to be vulnerable with the right person, that man doesn't need tricks or tactics. His whole presence becomes magnetic. The taming the beast instinct that women feel when they're drawn to this kind of man isn't weakness on her part. It's one of the oldest and most powerful psychological pulls in human nature. Here's the part that really separates the men who understand this from the ones who don't. Attraction to strength isn't about performing strength. It's about having actually built it. That means doing the hard work, holding yourself to a standard when no one's watching, developing competence in something meaningful, and taking your purpose seriously enough that a woman can feel she's not the most important thing in your world, even when she matters deeply to you. That counterintuitive truth, that your independence and direction are more attractive than your devotion, is something most men never fully grasp until they live it. And real quick, before we go deeper into this, if what you're hearing right now is starting to rewire the way you see attraction, masculine psychology, and what women actually respond to at their core, then do yourself a favor and hit that like button right now. Don't wait until the end. Subscribe to this channel immediately, because what's coming next goes even deeper, and you do not want to miss a single second of it. This is the kind of content that changes how you carry yourself, how you show up, and ultimately the results you get. Hit subscribe. Now, let's keep going. Now, seductive psychological tension is one of the most powerful forces in romantic dynamics, and almost no one talks about it directly. It's the electric gap between what is said and what is felt. It's the space between action and reaction. It's the moment where a man doesn't rush to fill silence, doesn't immediately reassure, doesn't chase validation, and in doing so, creates a pull that words never could. Peterson connects this directly to the civilized aggression principle, the idea that channeling raw masculine energy into focused, disciplined presence creates a force that is deeply compelling and impossible to manufacture. Feminine attraction psychology at its deepest level is a response to contrast, warmth and edge, confidence and humility, strength and gentleness. A man who is entirely one thing, all soft or all hard, all available or all distant, creates nothing. But the man who moves fluidly between polarities, who can be playful one moment and deeply serious the next, who can pull you close and then redirect his full attention to something purposeful, that man creates a living, breathing tension that is, quite simply, irresistible. This is not a performance. This is the natural result of a man who is fully alive and fully developed. Psychological magnetism doesn't come from trying to be magnetic. That's the paradox at the heart of everything Peterson is pointing to. The more a man chases validation, the more he repels. The more he invests in his own growth, his own purpose, his own psychological depth, the more naturally and effortlessly attractive he becomes. This is why self-development isn't just a motivational concept. For men, it is literally the foundation of attraction. The work you do on yourself in private is what shows up in your presence in public, and women feel it before they can even explain why. Let's bring this all together with something concrete. If you want to start embodying what Peterson describes, the first step isn't changing how you talk to women. It's changing how you talk to yourself. Start holding yourself to a standard. Pick one area of your life, physical, professional, intellectual, and commit to genuine mastery of it. Resources like Jordan Peterson's own lectures on YouTube, his book 12 Rules for Life, and channels dedicated to masculine psychology and Jungian archetypes are exceptional starting points. The transformation starts internally, and the external results follow with a consistency that will honestly surprise you. The men who have genuinely internalized these ideas don't walk around broadcasting them. They don't need to. Their posture, their eye contact, their calm under pressure, their willingness to disagree respectfully, their complete absence of desperation, it all speaks at a frequency that bypasses the conscious mind entirely. This is the full picture of what hidden female attraction actually responds to. Not a curated image, not rehearsed lines, but a man who has genuinely done the work to become someone worth being drawn to, from the inside out, with nothing to prove and everything to offer. And here's what most men will never stop to consider. The woman who is capable of recognizing and deeply valuing all of this in a man, she's also doing her own work. She's also becoming someone of depth and substance. The female fantasy that Peterson describes isn't just about what women want in a man. It's about what becomes possible between two people who have both chosen to grow, to confront themselves honestly, and to bring their most developed selves to the table. That dynamic, that rare, electric, deeply human connection is what this whole conversation has been quietly building toward. So here's the real question, and be honest with yourself. Are you the man who has been shrinking, softening, and bending out of shape, trying to earn attraction? Or are you ready to become the man who doesn't chase it because he's built something worth being drawn to? Everything Peterson describes points to one undeniable truth. The dominant male archetype isn't born. It's built, deliberately, daily. And it starts with a single decision to stop apologizing for your strength and start developing it with intention. So here's your challenge right now. Drop a comment below and finish this sentence. The version of me I'm building is, own it publicly. That one small act of declaration is more powerful than you think. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching this all the way through. That tells me you're the kind of person who takes this seriously, and that matters. If this opened your eyes to something real today, please hit that like button right now. It helps more than you know. Share this video with one man in your life who needs to hear it. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because what's coming next goes even deeper into masculine psychology, and you don't want to be the last one to know. The work starts now. Let's go.